Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a wear test with a brand new Revlon full coverage Colorstay foundation. So I love matte foundations and I really wanted to put it to the test and see how it wears and does. So hope you guys enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching. So first thing I'm going to do is moisturize my face. I'm going to use my Origins Matte Moisturizer. This has been my favorite lately. So I will be using a primer today, but I'm going to use two different kinds. On one side of my face, I'm going to use the Revlon Photo Finish Pore Reducing Primer. On the other side, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Matte Primer. And I really only apply primer right at my apples of my cheek. There's really no other spots that I care that much for. While my primers are setting, let's quickly talk about the foundation. This is actually not like a new foundation for Revlon. They actually have an older one that they made. It came in a glass jar. I think I've tried it, but it's been such a long time ago that I don't even have that one anymore. Basically, this is the new formula for it. This retails for $9. I want to say there was around 20 shades, maybe 15, 20. I picked up the shade 390. This was just an estimated guess. I really hope that it matches me. If anything, we can always brighten up with concealers and powders. Also, supposedly this is supposed to last for 24 hours. I will not be wearing it for that long, of course, but we'll see how long it actually stays matte. We'll put it to the test today. Still feels a tiny bit sticky, so I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. And this is the first time I'm actually using the Wet n Wild Matte Primer, so I just wanted to see the two differences between one side and the other side because I've been using the Revlon primer for at least a month now, so I already know how my skin reacts to it. But I really wanted to try a matte primer to see if there's actually a difference. For application, I'm actually just going to use a beauty blender for my whole entire face. I know generally people do one side a beauty blender and the other side a brush. But in my experience, the blender usually has a 90% chance of a better application. So I'm just going to skip that and go straight with a beauty blender. This has a very, very thick consistency, kind of moussey. So I am curious how well it's going to blend out on my face. It does look a bit dark on camera, not gonna lie, but I don't know. I really hope this matches. So I'm just going to start tapping it all over my face. Oh yeah, it's definitely super, super moussey. Oh, it's not bad. It's not a bad color. It's pretty full coverage though, I gotta say. It covered up most of my really bad blemishes. And the smell, surprisingly, I don't actually smell anything. That's actually really nice because all the other Revlon foundations that I've ever tried, I hated the smell. They always had this really chemically, almost factory smell. And I'm very, very picky when it comes to smells. So just this first layer on my cheeks, it really doesn't look bad. There's some of my really red spots and purple spots are definitely more still visible, but I would say it's pretty good for the first layer. It does have I would say a satin finish to it, unless it's gonna mattify later on. But so far, the initial blending, it is definitely more on the satin side, which I don't mind because sometimes if foundations dry out right away, they are a lot harder to work with because then you don't have no time to blend out. So if anything, I don't like when the formula is crazy drying. And a little FYI, I actually don't have a good experience with Revlon. I don't know. Each time I tried their foundations, it's mostly the foundations. I don't know. I haven't really tried too much of their other stuff, but anytime I would try their foundations, I would end up hating them. I don't think I remember the last time that I've actually had a foundation that I like from them. I don't know. Every time I would try something, it was just always terrible. Or I forgot their last one that came out with a sponge on top. Oh, that was so bad. That was probably one of the worst foundations, one of the worst that I've tried in a super long time. This one surprisingly had good reviews from other YouTubers, so that's why I'm kind of giving it a try, because it just gives me hope. So we'll see how this turns out. So far though, I am not disappointed. Yeah, I actually really don't mind this coverage. I don't really care when the foundation is crazy full coverage right off the bat, because like I said, usually it's a matte formula and it's harder to blend out. My main thing when it comes to foundations is I can build them up. They are matte, obviously, but I don't mind if they're like medium coverage, but buildable. That's the key word for me, buildable. Because like my favorite foundation, the L'Oreal Infallible one, it is actually not full coverage right off the bat. It's probably like this when it comes to coverage, but it is super buildable and easy to work with. And that's why I love it so much, because I have the flexibility and it doesn't come off like crazy for coverage. And then I'm stuck with like a matte covered up face. So I actually prefer foundations that are medium coverage, because if days, like I have really good days, this time not so much. I just came from vacation and I realized I'm one of those people that breaks out from sunscreen. Yay. So it's kind of healing up still. I still have a lot of breakouts still visible. That's why my face looks so scary. But anywho, I prefer more medium coverage on a normal day, not like a breakout day. So this is the second layer and it covered everything on this side. I had some red right there and on my cheekbones, and that covered up everything. So that is awesome. And honestly, like right now with just one layer on like my forehead and my other side of the cheek, I can barely tell that it's on. It feels really light. It doesn't feel heavy. It's still kind of sticky though. It didn't mattify yet, but it doesn't feel heavy. I can barely tell that it's on my face. So that's really, really nice. Honestly, from my experience with foundations, anytime I would try a foundation that has a moussey consistency, I don't think I've ever had actually a moussey consistency foundation that actually worked out. They were always way too drying, or they were just like not blendable. But this surprisingly looks really good. I'm like, I'm surprised. Probably so far the best Revlon foundation I've tried, but we'll see. So I'm going to go ahead at this point and finish the rest of my face. All right, so at this point it is 9:54 and I am finished with my makeup. So I'm going to try to make it as long as I can without, getting tired of it. Hopefully I can go 12 hours. That is my goal. I'll try to check in as much as I can throughout the day and show you how my face is doing. Okay, so it's literally been about 5 hours at this point. Sarah, my dear. Oh, okay. You're just like against me. So it's 3:20 and I would say my face looks pretty dang good. It's getting a little bit like brighter, I would say around my T-zone, but it does not feel oily. It's maybe like just getting moisturized, I would say, but it feels really good. Texture is normal, but like I already said before, I'm breaking out now, so like I expect that to happen. But other than that, it looks really dang good. And the other thing is my nose has been crazy itching lately, and I've been like sniffing and rubbing and all that stuff, and it's still holding on. So far so good. Let's see how the rest of the day holds up. Say hi, Sarah.
Stop. I do not look good.
She is actually the only person that's been in my video twice. I don't know how this happens. Really not planned, but maybe it's meant to be.
It's true.
I wanted to do a quick little update. It is currently around 7:15 and I just got home like 30 minutes ago. But before I get into that, I wanted to apologize. I am using my phone to film these updates, so the quality is gonna be probably quite different from the usual video, so I'm sorry, bear with me. It has been around 9 or 10 hours at this point, and I would say my makeup looks pretty dang good. I am very pleasantly surprised. The only place that like I can for sure say it's oily at this point is right there around my cheekbones. That's it. Every other place, well, that has a highlight, so that's actually not oily. But my nose is not oily, my chin is not oily, my forehead's not oily, and usually my nose is one of the first places that gets oily, and it's not. So I think it looks pretty dang good. I am very happy with it, because compared to my L'Oreal foundation, it starts to get oily like the same as this, basically like around 10 hours. Like you can start seeing, but I mean even this is not bad. Like I just look dewy. I wouldn't say I look oily looking at me. And I haven't been using, by the way, no blotting sheets, no powders, none of that, because I really want to see like how it looks like without any help, because I don't think it's fair to use any kind of like powders or anything like that, because then I won't actually like see how is the foundation doing. Hey guys, so it has been officially 12 hours. It is actually 12 and a half hours. It is 10:25 and I am ready to take this makeup off and go to sleep. But as for how well it wore, I definitely got more oily. I think it's kind of obvious. My cheeks are very glowy, and I would say right here between my eyebrows. My nose, just the slightest bit, but my forehead, my chin is still pretty matte. I don't think it got oily whatsoever, and nothing else on my face. Just pretty much like the center started. I think it did very, very well. I am surprised. And of course, let's be honest, generally people don't wear makeup for 12 hours. So I'm going to zoom you guys in and show you the end of the day and how it looks like. Alright, so as you guys can see, it didn't really rub off anywhere. I mean, maybe like the slightest bit around my nose, but it's so slight. It's barely visible, I would say. Nowhere else it really came off. I didn't really touch my face. The main part is, I would say, around my nose, because like I said, my nose was itching and rubbing and I kept having to blow it. So if anything, it would have came off around there, and it hasn't. So I would say this is pretty well. My cheeks, of course, are super oily, but other than that, I wouldn't say it caked up or like flaked up or anything like that. Just like the oil around my T-zone, which is normal. So do I approve this foundation and would I recommend it to others? Absolutely. I think for a $10 price tag, it is very affordable, and I think it proved itself through 12 hours. I definitely recommend it if you guys are looking for a good, affordable drugstore foundation and something that is something that is matte with, I would say, a slightly satin finish. This would be perfect for you. It was every single, wow, that's so disgusting. Wow. I mean, seriously, it looks like I just did my makeup. It looks so good. And this is with just blotting sheets. I am seriously impressed, you guys. Probably equally as good as my L'Oreal Infallible, no joke. Because it looks great. And it feels very matte, like just the oil blotting sheets, no powder, and it feels super soft, just like I just put on my makeup. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to see future videos like these, and I'll see you guys the next time. Bye!